Hello, good afternoon. My name is Garrett Clark, and this is my Mastery Journal timeline for our Professional Development and Leadership course, Mastery of Fine Arts degree program at Full Sail University. Today, I'll be introducing the breakdown, development, and progression timeline for my career in Mastery Development. The first thing I'm going to actually talk about here is my career long-term goals. Before I dabble a little bit into my short-term goals, my creative goals for both my long-term and my short-term kind of go hand in hand parallel. So I'm going to be starting off with my long-term goals. So the longevity for my first long-term career goal is to become a professional video editor. And that's one of the things I've been trying to focus on here throughout my time here in my Full Sail journey, not only in my bachelor's program, but also to offhand before entering my master's program. That's one of the things I inspired a lot in regards to becoming a video editor. Is one of the biggest things that I find really fascinating about the upcoming visual world, and it is most relevant in regards to a lot of things going on here in the demand with my career field. So in order to start my career journey in regards to becoming a professional video editor, I want to start off by creating and recording 3 short films in regards to, well, not necessarily films, but videos. So I just want to start off by recording videos, and basically these can be anywhere between 30 seconds to a minute long. Any kind of visual idea that I had in mind in regards to replicating and trying to get that out there. I want to try to get as much video content as possible. So I'm going to start off by recording little snippets in regards to any kind of video work. Then I want to develop and add a basic video composition. And what I mean by composition is once recorded, I want to be able to put it in post-production and be able to work on it accordingly. And that includes any edits, any major things in regards to making the sequence really good. Then I'm going to research and study effects and transitions I want to create and replicate manually. Now, nowadays in the video world, there's a lot of presets and there's a lot of apps where you can actually create those things, and you can just basically buy it and, just apply it to the video. That's not the case that I want to be doing. I want to be able to learn how to further in depth create that said transition or effect and be able to do it manually on my own, so I won't have the need to basically pay money or to use kind of third-party apps in order to get what I want. And it's kind of the fast way out of things, but I feel like if I do the due diligence of learning how to create it, it will be more impactful and it'll have more of an impact in regards to my composition work. Once that, I want to apply these new skills in post-production. So once again, after the research phase and actually learning how to create, basically either through the means of YouTube or just practicing, I want to be able to apply these in my video sequence. Then I want to refine my visual skills and the usage through the Adobe After Effects. And Adobe After Effects has been something that I've been trying to learn on my own. It is a little challenging. Half the times I do use, again, these third-party apps, or have been for the sake of, just trying to get it out the way. But I want to be able to learn how to mainly create these things, because I do have times where I do get too confused in the whole After Effects process, and then I'll just resort to, whatever means the quickest. So this go around, I want to be able to learn how to manually make those transitions, those effects, and be able to apply it. Then once after all those steps are created, the last part for that step is to publish and combine my video work into reels for my portfolio. I never really made and conducted a video reel at all. I think that's one of the most important things in regards to becoming a professional video editor, is to showcase your work through video reels. Again, whether if it's short videos, short films, or just anything in regards to any video content, I want to be able to create a whole reel to where people can easily view my work and showcase the performance I can do in regards to becoming not only a video recorder, but also an editor. And what I want to accomplish with this long-term goal overall ties into my short-term goal, is I want to be able to have a visual video reel by graduation. And this is possible through the means of applying all these steps and procedures throughout my time here through Full Sail University, and be able to fully establish a video reel portfolio that I can showcase on the day of my graduation. Once having these skill sets in hand and these tools and resources, then I'll be able to move on and be able to apply these things bigger towards my career field of which I want to do after post-graduation. So those are the two goals in regards to long-term and short-term goal I want to be able to add and sequence together. My second career goal long-term I want to be able to become a professional photographer and graphic designer. Now I do photography as of right now. I do consider myself somewhat of a professional, not necessarily amateur, but also too there's also room for improvement. Always room for improvement. One of the things I want to be able to do in order to get to that skill level is to take photographs and establish a structured photo shoot through creative planning. I created a lot of photo shoots in the past. That's not necessarily a huge issue for me, but I do feel like for the time in which I've created photo shoots in the past, or trying to get things together, I didn't actually thoroughly sit down to process how exactly do I want these photo shoots to entail or how to go by. So this is going to take a lot of basically storyboarding and also to brainstorming beforehand of what I want my photo shoots to entail and what do I want the overall image and after the whole composition to look like in the end. So the way I kind of take my photographs now is that I see what I want in my head of how I want it to finalize, and then I actually use my camera and skills to be able to get that image that I saw in my head to be able to come to life. So that's one of the things in regards to creative planning and structurally making that photo shoot come to life and that visual come to life is what's going to make it more impactful and more steady in the long run. Once that, I want to be able to, of course, upload the sequence and compositions to Adobe Lightroom. Again, I am not entirely new to Adobe Lightroom, but there's also a couple things that I want to learn and be able to apply these skills instead of just quickly using what's already there and just be able to mainly focus on what I could do on my own hand or on my own time per se. So again, with the research and study with filters and presets, I want to be able to conduct that research, and once I have an idea of what filters and presets I want to use, then I want to be able to actually create on my own. And I know Adobe Lightroom has a lot of presets to which you can actually use already there, but I want to be able to create my own set of presets so I won't have to resort to whatever is already in the app. And sometimes what's in the app doesn't really work out to how I see my vision and what I want it to entail. So some of that is going to actually have to do in regards to creating the actual filter preset and applying it toward the photograph. Once applying these new skills and creative filters, I want to be able to, again, study this, be able to replicate it, create it manually, and then apply it towards that composition and photograph. Once already established in regards to Adobe Lightroom, then I want to be able to move on and be able to learn to perfect Adobe Photoshop. And Adobe Photoshop is one of the biggest things I've been struggling with. I use it for basic things in regards to maybe like editing a few things here and there, maybe using the magic eraser tool, but that's really about it. But I've seen a lot of works where photographers actually diligently have their subject and their photograph already created, and then make these cool surrealism kind of like lucid effects that I want to be able to showcase in my actual photograph work. So that's one of the things that Photoshop comes in handy with. So that's one of the things I also want to be able to focus on really big throughout my not only my journey through Full Sail, but also to my journey throughout my career is becoming better at Photoshop. Not just with photos and just basically little things like that, but just also be able to create graphics, logos, and everything in between. And that all starts with learning the basics and the foundation of how Adobe Photoshop works and how to be able to apply those skills to transition to the current work that I'm actually producing today. So once having all those basic foundations and learning how to research, replicate, and apply these skill sets. And then I want to be able to combine all of what I learned from both the apps of Adobe Lightroom and Adobe Photoshop and be able to be perfected enough to where I feel 100% confident to create my own entire things from scratch rather than using presets or buying things that are already created by other users or creators and just taking the easy way out. And that's one of the things that I've been doing for quite some time now, which is no problem with it, it's to each his own. But in regards to becoming a professional, that's one of the things I'm definitely going to have to work on in the long run and be able to easily, make that on my own rather than just spending money and trying to have somebody else do it. Which that leads me to the short-term goal over my full sale journey is I want to be able to redesign and reconstruct my current website portfolio and also create a physical copy portfolio of my work overall. I do have a website right now of my current work. It has a lot of work that I shot throughout my bachelor's degree program many years ago, and also too throughout my time when I was out of school and over the recent years to be able to put together. The work is great. I'm not saying I'm going to scrap any of it. I want to keep some of it, but I also want to be able to restructure it and fine tune it a little bit better that works within my profession and what I see my vision as of today. I have a huge variety showcase in regards to all these types of photographs. I specifically love black and white. I have a lot of skills in regards to both color, black and white, and all these different aesthetics, which is great. But I also want to just fine tune it just a little bit more so that way I can actually gain more traction, gain more clients, and most definitely showcase a better understanding of what I've learned over the past few years over the time that I have throughout my mastery journey at Full Sail. Then I want to be able to create a physical portfolio. It sounds old school, but it's actually really relevant because sometimes maybe a lot of people either they're able to view things online, which I guess that's the fast thing and the most easiest way to it. But having a very structured hard copy portfolio, especially with the black and white compositional prints and film, it's also really great too because it also shows, the consistency and development and the character as I am as not only a person but also as a professional. Which again, not a lot of people do that nowadays, which is completely fine. But I feel that I'll feel the most comfortable if I have not only a digital way of showcasing my work and also to a hard copy way to showcase my work as well, that's one of the short-term goals I want to be able to apply throughout my journey by graduation is to have a reconstructed website currently of what I already have and also produce a physical copy portfolio of what I want to be able to showcase and what I have as well. So those are my long-term and short-term goals. Again, I combine them based upon not only just from my career set longevity-wise, but also too, if I'm able to apply these skills all together, then I'll be able to knock out my short-term goals, which is also by graduation. This concludes my video in regards to my master timeline journey for professional development and leadership. My name is Garrett Clark, and thank you for watching.